Coaches, this is for Tuesday the 17th. With our warm-up today, we are wanting to make sure that we are focusing on every athlete and making sure that their overhead dumbbell squats are done correctly. We put a 3-second pause at the bottom of the squat so that as they're getting down there, they can find that ability to hold that position and come out of it and finding that stability. It's going to be really important for you as coaches to go to every athlete and make sure to give them some sort of cue and points of performance that they can work on or to help them for the workout for the day. This 8-minute period is going to be critical to be able to hit those athletes so that when we have that relatively limited time to warm up for the workout, that they're not confused or not really sure what to do. They'll have a greater idea of what dumbbell to grab, what they're feeling comfortable with on both arms. That's going to be really important for them to be able to see and feel, and for you to see and give cues on. With our Snatch Complex today, we have what's called a snatch liftoff. I don't want this to be confused, but we want to use the proper names, but understanding that as we are bringing that snatch up, that all we're doing is bringing that barbell to about our kneecap. That's it. So it's like a half deadlift basically. What we're looking for is just as we're going through this, making sure to try to look and see if people's butts are coming up first and their shoulders stay in place, or that they're doing the opposite and not moving their butt at all. We want to make sure that as they're pulling it off the ground, that both things are being lifted up and down at the same time, okay? Focus should be on the snatch pull though. We're going back to that relatively awkward like pause position here at the top of the snatch. We are having using weights in that moderate zone. Don't let people go up in weights if they're not being able to balance and find that good position in the pull. Recognize that, use the videos that are there to be able to help you know what that should look like properly, okay? With our 2.0 Snatch Complex, this is just the pull and the snatch. This would be a good time to kind of help them connect that pull position and the lift off to what and how their snatch turns out. Meaning that if they're getting a pull and they're leaning forward and they somehow get underneath the snatch, it's most likely that they're leaning forward and they're not able to actually get that lift. So helping them connect what we're doing in the complex is actually pans out and is going to affect significantly what happens in their actual full lift, okay? So let's make those connections for our athletes in the complexes. With Deborah today, we'll be doing the isolateral side, meaning that we're only having one side working at a time. This last week we had overhead squats, and it didn't pull a huge difficulty level for a lot of people, but it is that awkward. We don't do a ton of them, and we're trying to move fast. So make sure people understand that slow is smooth, smooth is fast, that with your help that you've given them from the warm-up, that they should feel really comfortable moving up and down, locking those hips out and going right into it, rather than trying to speed through it and they're wobbling all over the place, going back and forth, arm going around, trying to find that good position. Making sure that you understand going around, those are things you're looking for, and helping people understand. We want big, tall chests. We don't want to lean forward. We really want to make sure that we're not seeing any of these kind of dumbbell squats, overhead squats, making sure that we're keeping good technique as we're going through this. There should be a slight lean to one side or the other to help with that overhead position if needed. The gymnastics should be manageable sets. As they're looking at the workout, they're like, I can definitely do that. But with the idea of getting 6 or more rounds, that's when it becomes relatively difficult for most of our members with the gymnastics. So helping them see that and recognizing how to start the way that they're going to finish. Meaning that if I'm going to do 15 toes to bar every single round, yeah, maybe I can do that unbroken as I think about it, but then realizing that that means that I'm potentially doing like 90 toes to bar, I probably would approach more of a 8-7 each round or a 5-5-5, just to make sure I'm staying exactly consistent or very consistent throughout all of those rounds. Help your members understand what we're trying to approach and being a little bit more aggressive on our abilities to hold onto the bar, but be able to move through more sets utilizing the same amount of energy through our gymnastics.